If you've dreamed of making a living doing something fulfilling and purposeful, keep watching. Do you suspect there's more to this Christian life for you to experience and contribute, but you're not seeing it? Do the demands of life, family, work, and baggage keep you from seeing the greatness God has placed inside of you? Do you feel like your past disqualifies you from living a life of contentment now, ministering to others, or sharing the gospel? Do you beat yourself up for not being enough and focus on your shortcomings? Does it seem like others are more put together, more talented, more anointed, more everything? It's time to unbox your greatness. Discover what is already inside of you that can help you have big kingdom impact, contribute to the body of Christ, and create financial stability for your family. My name is Michaela Kane, and I'm here to tell you that according to 2 Peter 1:3, God has already deposited in you everything you need to spread His transformation power, to enhance the lives of people around you, and not only that, but according to John 10:10, to create a life of abundance. Can you believe that? I didn't. It made me flat out angry the first time I heard it. I had been a Christian practically all my life, serving and sacrificing in ministry, living in lack, and feeling used and drained constantly. The idea of abundance and fulfillment seemed unattainable, even though I was a serial entrepreneur. Nothing I did brought me fulfillment for very long, and it seemed that everything I built was feast or famine income. It never occurred to me to ask God for His strategy. I just kept plowing forward with my own ideas, asking Him to bless them. When I finally got fed up with tolerating lack in my life, I began to shift my prayers to asking for strategy. And I committed to sit still until He released it to me. And then I finally discovered the two missing pieces that unlocked God's precise strategy for me to build God's kingdom, to be energized by what I do, and create actual wealth in a God-honoring way. I wish I could tell you that everything changed in that moment. But once I had those keys, I encountered another barrier I didn't even know I had. My mindset about money and ministry was held hostage by a religious ideology, and the thought of putting God's strategy to work in my life actually upset me. I didn't think I deserved abundance, and I'll admit, I even had a bad attitude toward people who were financially secure. But Jesus said in John 10:10 that He came so we would have life and life abundantly. But my religious mindset had me convinced that He meant that 100% spiritually and 0% physically. Once I faced that mindset barrier and gained a fuller understanding of what Jesus did mean, I had all that I needed to create the life He always intended me to have. When I stepped into His strategy, I began to attract clients with almost no effort and left every meeting and did every call feeling charged up, appreciated, instead of drained and used. I was shocked at how happy my clients were to pay for my expertise and thrilled when they experienced great results using the tools I shared with them. Then it struck me. God has a unique strategy for all of us. So I decided to share what I had learned. So in 2016, I set out to create a 5-day challenge, just a free gift to help me build my email list. I didn't realize at the time, but God downloaded a complete 6-week program to me instead. There was so much packed into that 5-day challenge. There was simply no way it could be completed in just 1 week. There were 5 hours of video, 20 pages of worksheets, craft projects. I mean, it was kind of crazy. What he gave me was a complete program to share what I learned to help others skip the years of research, trial, and error that I went through. I had no idea that by seeking after his strategy for me, he had downloaded such a big idea, nor did I realize how long the process would be that would lead me towards it. After offering that program again and again, both online and in person, I realized that it would be far more efficient to put it into a book, plus more cost-effective and convenient for you. So the last time I ran the group program, I delivered 2 chapters at a time, and voila! The Unbox Your Greatness book was born. With the Unbox Your Greatness book, it's easier than ever to discover God's unique strategy for you for now to use what He has invested in you to create big kingdom impact and abundance. What are those 2 keys I mentioned earlier? Well, I thought that making decisions about what to do should be based on what jobs were available or what needs were unmet in my community. The first key God showed me was to look inside, to take a full inventory of the deposit He had already made in me, instead of looking at outside needs and opportunities first. So I was reading the parable of the talents in Matthew 25:14-30, when I was overcome with the realization that God made a deposit in me, and He expects a return on that investment. Unboxing that deposit, taking a look at it on paper, was the first key. In Unbox Your Greatness, I'll walk you through the exact process that I used to take a personal inventory of God's investment, so you can see what greatness He's deposited in you. After building several businesses and working in ministry for decades, the second key still seemed kind of backwards to me. I thought we should find our niche based on what's hot, where the biggest opportunity is, where the biggest need is, or what's most convenient. Most of the time, I ended up trying to do too much for too wide of an audience, or working with people I didn't like or I couldn't relate to. Carefully choosing your audience based on who you want to serve, crafting your business or your ministry to use your greatness to meet their deepest need is the second key and critical to feeling energized and fulfilled at the end of every day. When you read Unbox Your Greatness, you will not only take your own personal inventory, but define precisely who you want to serve. You'll discover what they need that you already have to offer, and can get started multiplying God's investment by sharing it with others. The Unbox Your Greatness book walks you through taking a personal inventory of what God has deposited in you. You may be shocked to realize that you already possess the tools and the weapons necessary to change your circumstances and make your mark on the world. Understanding the scope of God's investment in you will highlight your strengths and preferences, helping you get clarity on the fastest, most fulfilling path forward in life and ministry. You will discover what is already inside you that can help you have big kingdom impact and live in the kind of abundance that Jesus came to give you. As you go through the book, you will slam the door on your inner critic and turn your biggest enemy into your biggest asset. You will learn how to love and appreciate you for the super great woman of God that you were created to be. You will identify dozens of unique deposits God has made in you to equip you for life-changing kingdom assignments and opportunities. Discover the power of your testimony and shift your thinking so your brain works for you when it gets stuck in hyperdrive. Now, this is an interactive book. It's filled with lots of fill-in space, checklists, and fun quizzes. There's a full-color 8.5 by 11 participants guide available with more space to write, which is especially helpful if you're going to go through the book with a study group. Now, if you want to participate in a supportive online group setting, you can join one of our online groups where you'll get daily encouragement, build life-affirming relationships, and walk with others who are also unboxing their greatness. But if you'd like to organize a local group to go through the book together, be sure to let me know, and I'll send you links to video content introducing each chapter. Discover how to put your gifts, talents, abilities, and testimony to kingdom use. Don't wait another day. I should probably warn you though, every time I have offered the Unbox Your Greatness program that inspired this book, people have been taken off guard by what God has dropped into their hearts about His strategy for their lives. So if you aren't interested in hearing His big ideas for you, if you have no intention of making any changes in your life, you might want to skip this book. Because once you fully comprehend what you're working with and you turn it over to God, He has a great time unboxing His unique strategy for you. It might completely shift your direction. It might be really wild. It might be way outside your comfort zone, and it might seem impossible. But you'll finish this book realizing that you're already right where you need to be to step into His big idea for you. You'll have the bones of a strategy, a framework that you can co-create with God to move forward into the destiny you always suspected and have been told time and time again that you were created for. Order your copy of Unbox Your Greatness, the book, and the full color participants guide from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, basically anywhere books are sold. Order one for your mom, for your sister, for your daughter. Order one for your best friend, for your pastor's wife, or your coworker. Okay, if you don't want to order so many books, will you tell them about it? Be sure to follow me on social media at Michaela Kane and at On Fire Life. Just run it all together. Just like, comment, share so your friends and family can unbox their greatness too.